Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games. Here to do my weekly comic review. A little Magik's in the air. This is Magik #1 from Marvel Comics. This is written by Ashley Allen and the artist is German Peralta. I think that's how it's pronounced. Magik's a really great New Mutant character that has really come into her own here the last few years. As you can tell, she's got one heck of a look, always has had. I assume most everybody watching this will be familiar with the character. We start off in our little happy Alaskan town, which nothing seems to ever be happy anywhere the X-Men are at. And this mutant is running and is chased down and taken somewhere. Then we get us a little flashback in the form of a dream sequence with Alanya having a dream about her life, including the Dark Child and her time in limbo. Of course, she wakes up and it's obviously her birthday. They do mention it's their quarter-century crisis, so I assume she's turning 25 today. But she's not happy with the birthday party idea. So she very quickly comes up with an excuse when the news broadcast comes on about mutants disappearing to go investigate and teleports out. Scott's pretty much, y'all have to let her go. She's not the first time she's ran off to be by herself. And it ain't gonna be the last time. So we get there, we have a mutant, anti-mutant protest going on outside the funeral home. She shows up, teleporting straight in. One of the guys kind of confronts her, and she just puts her finger at him and goes, "You may want to back up." And they kind of call her, what do they call her, a demon or a monster? A demon. And she's like, "I'm no demon." But they are. And then she basically says, "Would you like my help or would you rather I get lost?" And of course, nobody begrudges her helping, even though they don't trust her. And she proceeds to start cutting the demons apart, teleporting people to safety. And they end up getting the one girl, and this, I don't remember, is this the same? No, this guy looks a little different. Or the guy she initially confronts at the door. I'm going to double check my art. Yeah, no, he's short, beard, or mustache, and full red hair. This guy's got the mustache, but balding and long hair. When demons come chasing after him, he literally grabs the girl and throws the mutant girl to the demon. Which, Magik promptly goes to save, teleports the demon, the girl, and herself as she kills the demon away to what looks like a graveyard. And the young boy there, but he pretty quickly converts to this crow cowboy looking guy who's obviously magical oriented, and he's shooting her with basically voice command bullets that do what he says. They split, they burst, and what we find out over the next couple of pages, he's trying to get enough energy apparently to break these seals that are imprisoning Liminal. It's Liminal. And this elderly lady is telling her grandson that it's her family and his family's job to keep these seals locked down so that the, whatever's Liminal is cannot get out. Magik's having a little bit of problem with the cowboy. The girl that she saves tries to help. Apparently she's got screaming powers similar to sirens. Which doesn't seem to really do much to him, and she's promptly killed. And while she's continuing to fight the guy, the grandma is basically trying to reinforce the seals and make sure that they can't get busted. And as she's basically having a hard time getting her sword onto this cowboy guy, because basically he's fighting her. She's brought a sword to gunfight, and he's making sure it stays a gunfight. And so the older lady tells her, she's like, "You have magic too, don't you, girl? Well, stop swinging around your sword." Oh, cat. Move out of the way here. Silly kitty. You know, like a brute and use your head. Which, Magik is pretty much like, you know, she's right. I'm no brute. You always make me lose control. Talk about the Dark Child. No longer. So she uses a spell to create silence. So the guy can't use his voice command on the bullets. And she cuts off his hand, his right hand, and then his left hand catches the pistol. And this gets him out of Magik's spell at range. And then he uses his gun's burst effect to kill the grandma. And upon doing that, the seal starts weakening dramatically. Magik uses her spell ability to seal it in for a little bit, but it's only going to last her as long as she can sit there and concentrate on it. The young guy basically says, you know, he has to do this, and she's wanting to go do it, and he's like, you know, I'm not letting you out of my sight, I'm not letting this book out of my sight until this is all taken care of. And they teleport off somewhere to get started on it. And we end with a little diagram of the Dark Child with a dark voice saying, "The Dark Child, so that's her name. How interesting. Will she pose a threat or become a gift? No matter. We'll have fun either way." This book was actually quite a bit better than I thought it was going to be. I was a little bit leery because not everything in the X-Men has clicked with me on this relaunch coming out of Krakatoa. But Elandra is one of my favorite characters, and I really liked her diving more into her mystical elements in this story. So I think that's a really good angle to go with her. And I'm really looking forward to who this big bad guy is. What her relationship with this younger man's going to be. You know, because the grandma mentions that he was going to learn this when he comes of age, so obviously he's probably not of age yet, so he's probably under 18, so he's going to be a teenage boy. And she's going to have to protect him while he's learning the spells necessary to keep this thing in check. So I think it's really good. It's also going to be interesting to have her in a role being kind of a big sister instead of, you know, the little sister role. So I kind of like that aspect of it. And, you know, the art is very stylized. And it works really well for the character. I like some of the facial expressions, like when she pulls out the soul sword right here. So I think that's really well done. You know, it's not too splash pagey. I do think, what's the word I'm looking for? I think sometimes that the detail is not there on purpose to get a kind of a more gritty, darker feel to it. Like, in this one picture here, Elandra has quite a bit of detail, but he's almost grainy, like he's almost like he's out of focus. And there's too much work in that art to not be intentional. So, I think this really fits the character and the design really well. So I do highly recommend this book, especially if you're a New Mutant fan or an X-Men fan or a Magik fan. And I think you'll like it. If you like mystical stories dealing with demons and stuff, you'll also really enjoy this. So highly recommend this book. Check it out. And don't get lost in limbo. See you next week.